I'll kind of introduce myself. My name's Colin. I use he/him pronouns. I'm by Odin's Beard RPG on Twitter and byodin'sbeardrpg.com. Tom Owen, how about you?
I'm Tom Owen at Dice Maven pretty much everywhere. He, they pronouns, and looking forward to We Deal in Karen.
Led Karen, potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan?
I'm Ryan. I'm on the internet a couple of different places. I'm happy to be here.
Cool, thank you. Okay, Ryan, have you found the Gunslinger Generator link?
Yeah, I'm just
Cool.
moving stuff over.
Yeah, cool.
Um, Shots and damage for Scattergun.
Scattergun has 2 shots, and damage is d8. So the way lead works, we'll come to lead, like roll for lead after you guys fill out the character sheets. But the way lead works is that you spend 1 lead to reload your weapon, so it's a full reload. So even if it's a 2-shot scattergun or a 6-shot 6-shooter, 1 lead will reload the weapon entirely. What I tend to do is, if it's a 6-shooter, I'll get a d6, and then I'll just start it at 6, and then every shot I take, I'll reduce it by 1 until I'm at 1, and then I know I'll have to spend a action to reload the weapon. If you've got a scattergun, a coin tends to work fairly well. If you've got a coin, just flip it over when you take a shot. And the scattergun is 2 slots, since it's you need 2 hands to use it.
Gotcha. So 2 bubbles.
Yeah.
Nice. The random coin I happen to grab is an outlaw themed challenge coin.
Awesome.
Alright. And the waxed duster, is that armor?
It is, yeah. So that's
Okay.
1 slot, and that gives you 1 defense.
Alright, rocking a solid 2 defense. Nice.
So the last item in the list, like it has four ticks, or 4 points. The last one doesn't take up any space. It's just a trinket.
So, in this case, the dice that I have.
Yeah.
Cool.
So those are just small, so they don't take up any space. I think I need to update the generator just to include the slots in the item, so it makes it a bit easier when filling out the character sheet.
I mean, I do love the form fillable PDF, though, because I can pop this into Foundry and test it with friends easily.
Nice. Have you both played a cairn-based system before?
Yes, I have.
Or Into the Odd?
Yep, read a couple as
Cool.
well.
Yeah, so it's auto hit. You just roll for damage. So with melee weapons, you'd roll for damage. With in We Deal in Lead, with the guns, it's not auto hit. You roll on the shoot table, so it's 2d6 roll on the shoot table to determine how well your shot hits its target. 1 to 9 is a hit in different degrees of success. 10, 11 is a miss, and then a 12 is a misfire. If you roll a misfire, then you roll on the misfire table, and that can lead to nothing happening, or it can lead to the gun exploding in your hand if things go drastically wrong. And your weapons, your guns, bypass armor. So normally a melee weapon the armor would be, or the damage would be mitigated by armor and by the defense level. But your guns bypass that and they attack grit directly. But that also, that's the case for enemy gunslingers as well. Their guns bypass your armor.
Makes sense. I mean, a waxed cotton duster doesn't seem the most effective against some lead being slung.
Exactly. And so an enemy gunslinger or a failed gunslinger called a harrier, they roll on the shoot table as well, so they won't hit automatically with their guns.
So maybe you answered this already with Tom, but my background in this generator is that in here? Which part of it is actually the background?
It should be before you became a gunslinger, you were a blank.
And the age doesn't really.
Sorry, yeah, age is I need to add that to the generator. Age is 4d12 plus 10 to get your age. It doesn't really. It can have some lore implications or some narrative implications.
And then I got twin 6-shooters. Do I put that in gun or 2 6-shooters in weapon?
So I normally put twin 6-shooters in the gun section, and that's takes up two slots because there's 2 of them. And with the twin 6-shooters, there's 6 shots in each, so you can fire both 6 times before you need to reload.
Yeah. What was the age formula?
4d12 plus 10.
Okay. It's 2 years off. I'm 32, actually.
Nice.
Oh, does a saber count as a weapon?
Yeah, so Saber is one of your secondary weapons. That's a D8, and it's just 1 slot.
Is a razor a weapon?
It's mainly a tool. You could potentially use it as a weapon. But it would, let's say it would do D3 damage if you wanted to use it as a weapon.
And wax cotton duster, is that armor?
Yeah, so that's one defense. And your hat doesn't take up a slot. It's just cosmetic.
Well, it takes up the head slot.
But it doesn't actually impact your inventory, which is nice.
And then what damage is a spear?
Let me check for you here. D6. But the spear is bulky, so it takes up 2 slots, but you can throw it in short range. So the ranges are abstracted. Close range, short, medium, long range. So close range is melee combat. Short range is kind of the other side of the room. Medium range is the other side of town, or kind of the other side of the street, rather. And then long range is the other side of town, or the other side of the valley. So the your attributes, strength is obviously strength saves, like bend bars, lift gates, but also strength is used for critical damage saves. So when you're fighting, when your grit is your HP, when your grit's reduced to 0, any additional damage gets reduced from your strength, and then causes a strength save, which is a critical damage save. If you fail that, then so you need to roll under your strength. If you fail that, then all you can do is kind of crawl weakly on the ground until you get help. Dex is agility and dexterity saves, and then heart is kind of charisma and spirit, but also heart determines Gunslinger Duels. You roll with your heart, so because it's based on The Dark Tower by Stephen King. Gunslinger doesn't shoot with his hand, he shoots with his heart. So you roll against your heart when you're in a duel. And it also determines some different Gunslinger Order functionalities. So I'll get to Gunslinger Order after you guys are done with your characters.
So we should be very cautious about any men named Randall.
Exactly.
Will there be trains?
There are references to trains, yes.
I remember reading that one. It just felt like a fever dream of a book.
I know. The crazed, insane AI train.
Blame the train.
Yeah, so if you're so grit is your essentially your hit points, but it's basically your drive to survive, your motivation. What's what keeps you standing, keeps you in the fight. So if your grit is reduced to 0, then you start taking strength damage. If your grit is reduced to exactly 0, so if you're at 6 grit and you take 6 damage, then you get reduced to exactly 0. You roll on the scars table, because there can be unintended consequences. The scars table is how the gunslingers progress. It's how they change in battle, like kind of how they're changed through battle.
And then do we start with 3 days rations and a torch?
Yes. Yeah, but that I'm still tweaking that, so don't worry about any slots that takes up. You'll just have it on you. I'm figuring out the best way to do that. And then once you both are done transferring it over into your character sheet, I'll have you roll for lead. It'll be 3d6 to determine how much lead you have.
What is the under where I assume the picture is? I put my name, and then there's another line under that. What would generally go there?
That's the Gunslinger Order, the name of the order. How the order works is if there's more than one gunslinger in the party, like if there's a group of more than one gunslinger, then generally they form orders. So it's like a fellowship of gunslingers. If you've read The Dark Tower, it's that kind of idea. And there's a lead gunslinger, or I'm calling them the errant gunslinger. In The Dark Tower, it's Roland. He's the head of the gunslinger party. So that name, or that space, is for the name of the order. So to determine the errant, like the lead gunslinger, it can be determined in a couple of different ways. So it can either be the gunslinger with the most experience, the gunslinger, like the oldest one, or the one with the highest heart ability score, or the one that makes the most sense. Or there can be, you don't necessarily need a lead gunslinger. So of the characters that or the gunslingers that have been generated for you both, actually maybe it makes sense to kind of go through what your gunslingers are like what what type of gunslinger you've generated, and then we can determine who might want to be the errant. Tom, can you let me know what your gunslinger's like?
Absolutely. We have Alexander Mitchell, an imposing physique, freckled skin, frizzy hair, elongated face, and menacing eyes. Blowing waxed cotton duster, and speak in a formal manner. Arrogant yet merciful, and have a reputation for being respected.
Nice.
And heart is 10 out of
10. What was your misfortune? So it's in your past you had the misfortune of being blank.
Outlaw.
So that's the background. The section just before that. It just kind of like a narrative flavor of what's happened here at Gunslinger in the past.
Okay, so I put like outlaw stroke stranger.
Okay. Oh, string. Okay, that's cool. Okay. And Ryan, what about your gunslinger?
My gunslinger is Oswald Humes. He's a rugged physique, rosy skin, shaved hair, a bony face, and sunken eyes. His clothes are archaic, and he speaks in a precise manner. He is vengeful yet ambitious, and has a reputation for being respected. In my past, I had the misfortune of being abandoned, and before I became a gunslinger, I was a bandit.
Oh, interesting. So, the abandonment. What shape do you think that took, or like what form do you think that took?
I mean, that's probably what led me to be a bandit. If I didn't have anybody, I found people that took me in, and that happened to be a group of bandits.
Cool.
Posse.
I also have twin 6-shooters with mother of pearl grip engraved with a hawk.
Awesome.
And also a wax cotton duster, so we have a uniform.
Already, yeah.
Nice.
I've got a scattergun, silver gripped, engraved with a rose.
Awesome. Okay, so between the two of you, who do you think would be the errant or the lead gunslinger?
Well, what's the dice for the age again?
4d12 plus 10.
$39. And then one last, what's the damage for the 6-shooters again?
6-shooter is d8.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What kind of hat do you have?
Albion.
I got a preacher hat.
Nice.
So
Maybe trying to atone for your past as a bandit.
or I stole it from a preacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either or, I guess we'll find out.
Yep.
It doesn't make a difference to me. I'll defer to Tom. You could be the errand.
Do you like evens or odds?
Odds.
All right. I guess I'm the errant then.
Cool.
Easiest way of figuring that one out with two people.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so the scattergun, your special attack is called Give It Both Barrels. So basically you fire, because it's a side-by-side shotgun, double-barrel shotgun. So with this, you fire both barrels at once, and you do double damage with a blast attack. So blast means that it affects multiple targets. You roll damage for each target individually, and then whatever your damage is, you double it with that.
Okay.
So that using a special attack causes a fatigue. So fatigue takes up space in your inventory. Once you reach, or if you reach 10 slots full out of 10, that means your grit is reduced to 0. So you're exposed, essentially.
All right. I'll just put that down under spells and relics for now.
And Ryan, your 6-shooter, your twin 6-shooters, has a special attack called 2 and 2. So you can fire twice from each gun and gain damage advantage against 2 different targets. So that's rolling your damage twice and then taking the higher result. And that causes 1 fatigue as well. Okay, right. Tom, if you want to roll a d20 for the order table, this will determine the name of the Gunslinger Order.
11.
11. That's the Gallows, so Order of the Gallows, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
So the table is based on a Major Arcana table, just with a bit of a Drifted World tweak. So Drifted World is the world of We Deal in Lead.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is there potentially like an Order of Cups? Sorry, Major Arcana, never mind.
Yeah.
Those are the minor posse you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. They hope to be major gunslingers. Okay. Right, so if you both want to roll 3d6 for starting lead. So lead is currency, but it's also ammo.
I had 10.
10, cool.
Just rolled 10. I gotta admit, this dice roller is really slick.
What are you using?
The one on the table. The witch dice thing.
That makes sense.
Okay. So the unthinkable has happened. Severn Stevens, a former ally and member of your Gunslinger Order, betrayed and killed Isaac, your leader and steadfast friend. You've hunted this traitor for weeks, finally tracking him and his ragtag posse to a small cave on the edge of the bleached desert. Shortly after entering the cave, you all see a bright flash of blue light and notice the cave entrance has disappeared. The air both smells and feels different, as if you're standing on a mountaintop, and you suddenly realize you're in another world. So the world of We Deal in Lead is based on the Dark Tower, or it's inspired by the Dark Tower. So it's post-apocalyptic mix of magic, fantasy, horror, and sci-fi. There are slip doors that exist in the world that connect different worlds, and they're from a magical and technological background, but no one knows exactly where they came from. So it looks like you've traveled through a slip door, and you've entered another world, and you're now in a cave. Okay.
And we would be privy to this, right? Like, this wouldn't be a, like, bizarre happening.
So it's unusual. Like, you've heard of slip doors before, but you've never experienced one. They're exceedingly rare. And you know that that for whatever reason, the guns that you carry allow you to see and interact with the slip doors. So only gunslingers and a few select others can even see the slip doors. So you've your Gunslinger Order, you've heard about these mythical slip doors, but you've never experienced one yet, and until now. Normally they take the shape of an actual physical door, but there are other portals that exist that serve the same function, but are less predictable and more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, so the cave you're in. Embers from a waning bonfire crackle and drift around the echoing cave, flickering on the jagged walls damp with condensation. The warmth from the waning bonfire fills the area. Light from the fire dances on the cave wall. Smoke trails towards the opening to the east, masking the damp scent of the cave, and moss and lichen line the rough walls, growing with abandon. So we've got Oswald and Alexander. gunslingers from the Order of the Gallows.
It's ready. Oswald, what in the hell's this?
So as he just said, I'm sorry, I was putting up a picture in the background.
That's all right.
We're aware of these doors. Like we know we did this. We went in the cave. The cave disappeared behind us, and now we're in this kind of like lichen-filled cave.
Yep. So yeah, you know that you've stumbled on a magical doorway or slip door, and now you've traveled into another world.
I guess that was more of a question of like what is this? Like not like I don't know what a cave is. Like
Yeah.
like more like where? It's like what?
Obviously, it'll be like this damn cave, Alexander. Where do you think it is?
Oh, you reckon we should be going up that way over there, or should we be going deeper in the cave? Is that can't see too far in?
Do we? We can light a torch, right? Like yeah. So when he says that, I'll just pull out a torch and at least have a little bit more light in the space.
So there's the bonfire that's lighting the cave at the moment, but it does get darker kind of as the light drops off. Yeah. So yeah, you can.
Well, then I'll light it in preparation. I'll just stick it in the bonfire and go with it.
Cool.
Right. Take note that there's a bonfire burning. Someone's been here.
So
very true.
The bonfire itself, it flickers and crackles, but the flames never seem to die down. There's a charred and blackened spear that's driven into the stone floor at the center of the flames. And rather than wood, bones burn in the fire, bleached skulls and femurs.
Oh, looks like a party happened here.
Definitely something.
Reckon it was the people that went after Isaac.
I mean, it could have been.
When
we look around the bonfire, do we see any footprints, any scuffling, anything like that? Or is it anything that looks like recent travel?
Yeah, it does. Looks like someone's been here recent, like in the last day or two, and you know that you were hot on the trails of Severin, so it lines up to that timeline. You can see tracks leading out, leading through the cave to the eastern passage.
With the slip doors, do they change time at all?
They can do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could enter something and it could be, they could have experienced the day of travel or something like that.
Yeah,
right.
So it looks like from what you know, this would be a door, like a magical doorway, and so they're less predictable than slip doors. Slip doors tend to have, you go to the exact space and time that you would expect to, but magical doorways or magical gateways can kind of, you roll the dice when you go through. So yeah, it could be that you're right behind him, or it could be he's been here a year already.
But it looks like the tracks are only a day or two old.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was Eastern Severin wearing, out of curiosity?
He was wearing a padded poncho. So
gotcha.
Yeah, kind of like a Josie Wales style or a Man with No Name style poncho.
And we both have the wax cotton duster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Order of the Gallows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I reckon footsteps are heading east. Should probably go east.
East it is.
All right.
So that would be out of the cave, right?
Yes, well, deeper into the cave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the entrance that you came through has disappeared, and you're essentially in a different cave altogether because of the transportation. And so it's sealed behind you. There's no passage except to the east. Okay, so yeah, the opening to the east, it's a gradual incline, and you hear the intermittent sound of metal scraping on stone. So it leads to a corridor, and you see two ragged, emaciated forms that stagger languidly from one side of the cave to the other, occasionally raising a withered arm to strike the jagged wall with a ruined sword hilt. They see you, but their eyes are empty voids. The forms look like men, but their movement is empty and listless. Their skins dried and worn like faded leather. The sharp sound of their sword hilts so you can hear the sharp sound of their hilts as they strike the stone walls. So there's a corridor that narrows and winds to the north, leading to a set of stone double doors that reach from floor to ceiling.
I think we should do something about these hollows.
We're here, we might as well.
So, I guess I'd like to try and approach one and just kind of give it like a gun butt to the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit improvised there, so.
Yep. So you just want to look with the shotgun or the scatter gun. Yeah. It takes the hit and it just collapses into a heap. It looks like it was kind of on its, like barely clinging on to survival, not even life, because you can see that there's no life in either of these forms, but it just collapses to the ground and kind of just stops twitching. The other one doesn't seem to take any notice.
I don't like these kinds of magics.
And I'll follow my errant and kind of do the same thing to the other one. Just pull out one of my 6-shooters and give it a thump.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same thing. It kind of scrapes down the side of the wall as its hilt drags down, and it just collapses into a heap. Just all movement out of it.
Either you got stronger, or these things are really weak.
I mean, little column A, little column B. Could I just like kind of kick through their, like, were they, I don't remember if you said did they have any like clothing on or anything, any ragged stuff, any pants, any breeches?
They've just got ragged, like essentially just rags, like tattered rags. You don't recognize it though, like it doesn't look like anything you've seen before. Like even in kind of the corners of the drifted world that you've been to that are like backwards and not very advanced. This, like, the clothes look odd.
I mean, it might be your style, but I wouldn't touch it.
Don't seem right though. The sword hilt.
Yeah.
Can I look that over a little bit more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just it's like it's rusted. It looks like old iron. Not very, like, it's not steel. You're familiar with steel from your guns. It's a far cry from that. It's much older and much more primitive looking. The blade snapped, so there's only about an inch or two of blade left, and it's a hilt that's battered and banged up. And
there are two of these?
Yeah, each of the forms had one of those broken swords.
Now, what do you think chances are that those hilts might open those double doors? Keys, maybe?
I mean, I think you're thinking. I think
I'm doing something. Don't know if it's thinking.
It's an idea. I'll tell you what. So I'll keep that. I'll take one of these broken sword hilts.
Okay.
I'll go up and examine the double doors a little bit.
Okay. The doors. It looks like they've been hewn from the cave walls themselves, and there are two enormous handles in the middle. So they go floor to ceiling, Um,
This is
doesn't look
dumb, but push or pull?
pull.
It's worth asking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You don't see any keyholes or anything. They just look like massive stone doors.
Well, it was a thought. Just
You never know. You never
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I just got the heebie-jeebies in here.
I mean, this it feels off. I mean, I ain't seen these clothes before. This here ain't steel.
Yeah, it looks like some old iron.
Are there any carvings on it or anything? Is there any kind of on the sword hilts besides just rust?
No, well, there's markings of when it was forged. Like you can see, it was hand forged, and it's fairly crude. But it looks like it's been around for maybe centuries. So it's tough to kind of everything's been worn off from it.
And we're aware with these slit doors that time can be
Fluctuate,
weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one of them.
All right. Well, as the errant here, I'm going to go and open the door. Now, I want you to take point behind me, and if there's something, start blasting.
Okay.
All right.
So you're opening the doors.
Yeah, dig my heels in, and
So they open much easier than you expect they would, for being like massive stone doors. It takes a little bit of effort, but once they start going, the momentum carries them open. It's almost as if you don't have to exert yourself too much, and they open wide.
I'll be damned. Looks like they discovered water displacement formula 40 here.
So inside, you see an enormous chamber filled with stalactites and stalagmites. And you can hear as soon as you start opening the door, you can hear wind whipping through the next room.
All right. If you hear that, oops. Wind. Wind means that there's probably an exit nearby, and we gotta chase Severin.
Yep. Do we see the footprint? Are we still able to track these footprints, or was it more just like at the bonfire and now we're just going in that direction?
No, you can see that. You can see the footprints passed through this way as well.
Gotcha.
Is there any distinctive things in this chamber besides the mites and tights?
Yeah. So as the doors are open now, sharp wind shrieks through the vast chamber as you enter. Craggy stalactites reach from the sunken ceiling, and gnarled stalagmites collect green water in shallow pools. At the opposite end of the chamber, there's a set of towering carved doors. There's a smashed crater in the center, strewn with broken chunks of stone. There's an obscured ledge that's visible behind a jagged stone outcropping above the floor. And you can see what looks like a small tunnel behind a cluster of stalagmites further into the room. And hanging above the room are heavy, piercing stalactites that are precarious, hanging from the ceiling.
Looks like we got our work cut out for us.
I mean, this cave looks a lot more cavey. That's for sure.
Now, I'm trying to remember what they call these things. What was it saying? Mites go up, tights fall down?
Well, I mean, I don't know how PG you want me to be, but there's a way I always remember it.
Go ahead.
I mean, I always remember that it's stalactites and those hang down.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the only way I remember it.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we're walking to an ambush here, but up there, yonder, there's that ledge. But whatever created that crater, I don't like it. I can't just stand here being fearful.
So the crater, as you kind of looking at it, you can see that there are radiating cracks from within the deep indentation filled with broken stalagmites and shattered yellow bones.
Well, at least we didn't die like this yellow son of a bitch.
No. No. A lot of bones in here, though. You're like bones on bones.
And a lot of bones. Why are there so
And
many
these
bones?
These ain't burning, though. That's probably better.
Are there any, like, particular scents, like, sulfurous smells, anything like that going on?
You can smell a bit of the fetid water in the shallow pools, like just kind of cave water. But nothing particular on the wind. Like there's no scent on the wind or anything that stands out to you.
For some reason, sulfur, yellow bones. Sulfur is yellow. Who knows? Well, so from what I understand, we're gonna have to make it to that ledge, climb up.
So there are a set of doors on the opposite side of the chamber as well.
Well, actually, hang on. I might need to get my vision checked at the dock when we get back.
I am carrying a pair of spectacles if you need to put them on. I'm just saying.
Well, that's a little bit better. Thank you. Why don't you lead with that?
Yeah. Well, stop leaving them sitting around, and I'll stop having to pick them up.
It was a wild night last night. Okay.
So, I mean, I think following the footsteps is going to be the best way if we continue to see them. Do we see it go towards the ledge, or do we see them go towards more the doorway again?
So you can see they skirt around the crater, and they go behind the. There's a cluster of stalactites, and there's a small tunnel. They go near that tunnel.
So we have cave, we have bones and stuff in the middle. We got a tunnel, we got a door, and we got a ledge.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is skirting the crater and going towards the tunnel.
Yeah.
It has stalactites above it.
Well, it's there's stalactites around the whole chamber, basically.
All right. I mean, I think we just keep following footsteps. I mean, you're the boss, so.
Yeah. All right. I think we should try our best to avoid any of these stalactites or stalactites, as you like to call them, and maybe stick to the wall.
Yeah. I mean, it's the closest I got to anything like that in a while.
Yeah. I just don't want to end up like that poor son of a bitch right there.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So,
it seems a little bit egregious to be using my scatter on them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we can just probably walk around.
Okay, so you're gonna skirt the crater and then head towards the tunnel, essentially.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're kind of walking around, like on the edge of the cave, following the tracks and avoiding the stalactites, you hear this thundering sound of an avalanche. A massive gray blur crashes down into the chamber in front of you, revealing a hulking humanoid shape, rocky and pitted flesh misshapen and deformed. A large bronze key hangs from its neck. The demon raises an enormous stone club and advances on you both.
Well, do you reckon that key has something to do with our situation?
I mean, when is a key not useful? Better than a broken hilt.
Lock and load.
All right. So the way combat works, you automatically hit with melee weapons, but with your guns, you roll on the shoot table. If you're both attacking the same target, then you roll. Assuming you hit, you roll your damage, and then you roll both your damage, and then take the higher result, rather than both doing individual damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's same if there's multiple targets attacking you, then they would combine their damage, or like roll all their damage and then take the highest amount. Okay. So you're both gonna open fire on the stone demon.
Seems pretty wise.
All right. If you both want to roll on your shoot table.
Shoot table.
So with
It's 22.
I've got it up here too, just in case. For the twin 6-shooters, you'd roll twice on the shoot table, since there's two guns.
So I rolled 2d6 twice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bam. All right. Well, I rolled a 3 with my first one,
Oh, nice.
and then a 2 with my second one.
Wow, excellent. So, for we deal in lead, when you're rolling, the lower the better, unless it's damage. So those are both max damage.
I just rolled a 1.
On the shoot table?
On a 2d6?
Oh, shit. That's 2d6.
Yeah.
There you go. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
3 and 1. Okay. So 4. Right. So Ryan, you do max damage twice. So that is 16. Right. Let me get this here.
Oh, damn. I mean, I feel like we have like a whole kind of cinematic move here where this thing drops. We have our thing. Like, I feel like I crouch down with both and fire as he's kind of like standing over me with the one. And if I see that I hit like pretty damn good shots, if I say so myself, with these, I definitely give them a little spin. You know,
Nice.
just yeah.
Do you do the like?
Oh, I mean, can you spin them without doing that first? I don't know if you can, because I can't.
I like to imagine that this scattergun that I've got doesn't have a stock on it. It's kind of a pistol grip.
Cool.
So just like a little.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Pistol grip double barrel shotgun. The one arm is so just like buff from firing it so much and trying to control it.
Okay, Tom, do you want to roll your damage?
Yes.
D8 for the scattergun.
Force D8. Sorry. Alright. There we go. Roll D8. 6.
6. All right, cool. Okay, so you've taken the creature beneath 0 grit, so it needs to roll a critical damage save now. So it does. Makes it save. Actually, no. Sorry, its strength was reduced. So both of your the shots from your 6-gun tear into the heavy armored skin of the creature, but as you two are gunslingers and your weapons bypass armor, it just tears right through it. The scattergun blast catches it across the face and the chest, and it just crumbles. Like cracks, you see large cracks start to appear, and it crumbles into dust in front of you, and the key falls from it around its neck and clatters on the ground.
That's why we always fire with our heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got bones. rock demons.
I mean, still don't like it.
I don't like it one bit either.
Oh,
I'll go. I put you in a position of danger last time. I suppose I'll go ahead and get this key, but I'll give it to you. I trust you. You need to learn.
oh,
Yeah, I have I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, just here. You have the key.
Sounds like that's what a leader sounds like. I hear you. If I run out of spots to put stuff, but I still have inventory spots, like what should I just like throw it in something in another spot for now, or like combine some stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. The key doesn't take up any slots.
Okay. Does the broken sword hilt, rations, torch, oil skin, spectacles, razor, do they all take up slots, or some of the small items?
So the razor, the spectacles don't, and don't worry about the rations or the torch either taking up slots. I'm gonna have a satchel for those, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
I got plenty of space, and I'll just combine a couple of things.
Cool.
So now I have is it a large bronze key?
Yeah, it's about the size of your hand. It's like fine
Oh, that's
workmanship.
big.
Like it's you're surprised at how intricate the details are on it. And it's been carved with a high level of skill. There's no like pictographs on it or anything. It's just the
So
quality.
no recognizable iconography.
No, but you can tell that the craftsmanship that went into it is next level.
Oh, they go next level with their keys, but their soul swords are shit.
I mean, priorities, right?
Oh. Yeah. All right. So this avalanche. Let's see here. Open anything up?
You can see that it knocked aside some of the stalactites when it landed in the room, but you were careful to avoid any of those. So some of them crashed to the ground, and some of them got knocked loose up on the ledge as well.
Now, I may be fresh-faced and younger than you, but see why I did that there?
I mean, I can definitely tell you meant to do that for sure.
Oh, I'll point towards the crater. It's like, he did not. They did not.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you're there.
Oh, it was a half stance. We flipped the coin.
Hey, fate's fate. Oh, you know what I just realized too is there's a soundtrack, and now that's what I'm playing.
Excellent. Yeah,
Not realized, just remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have been playing that as well. The spaghetti western / synth soundtrack.
Yeah.
Absolutely cannot wait for the physical.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I would say the only knock on Gather, just to not knock, is I keep running around and I realized it's dead silent, and I can't remember last time I was in like an 8 or 16-bit like kind of video game feeling thing, and it was just dead silence. And then when it clicked, I was like, oh, it's so quiet.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have music. All right. Anyway.
Cool. So there's the double doors, and then there's the tunnel that it looks like the tracks have led. Now that you're kind of closer to the tunnel, you can see that the tracks have led into the tunnel.
All right. So tunnel, double doors, tunnel, double doors. Double doors we already came in through, or are these new double doors?
New double doors. So this is you're close enough that you can see. It's a set of double doors with intricate raven reliefs on both doors, faded by time and wind. There are 2 round keyholes the size of a fist at the center of each door. Cold wind whistles through the keyholes. So one keyhole in each door.
I think we gotta go further down the tunnel.
Yeah. Can I just slot the key in just to see if it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the key that you have fits the keyhole on the right, and it slots in with the pleasing chunk.
That was quite a pleasing chunk.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think it's gonna take more than one.
What if you try turning it, taking it out, and putting it in the other door?
I mean, also, do we need to unlock both doors? I guess we'll find out. And I try to turn it.
So it seems like this key was meant for this hole. So it turns, but nothing happens. Like you try and push on the door, but nothing happens. Did you want to try it in the other keyhole as well?
I mean, I might as well, and I'll like unclink and like.
Oh, hold on. Maybe try pulling on the door.
Oh man! I stick it back in and I turn and I try to use it as like a handle and pull instead.
No, doesn't seem to be any give.
All right, it worked in that one saloon, okay?
I mean, listen, you are the idea man, and I will just follow directions, sir. So then I'll take it out, and just to be thorough, I will stick it in the other door and try to both push and pull on this door.
It doesn't fit into the other keyhole.
Bitch. I mean, of course it wasn't going to be that easy, but one can hope, right?
Pretty clever sending us on a wild goose chase into more of them demons. But, sorry I'm a little bit of an idea man. I should be more of an action man right now, but reminds me of days of being an outlaw hiding out in the caves. Not a big fan. Alright, let's go check this.
Alright, and head on through.
Okay.
To the other side.
So the tunnel is just large enough to fit through, like kind of to crawl through, and dim flickering light reveals a path. And so did you both go through the tunnel?
I'll lead, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you reach the other side with no issues. You can see the soft flickering light of a bonfire that dances on smooth stone walls of the hushed corridor. The bonfire you find warm and comforting, but you can still see bones, like it's burning bones, essentially. There's a wolfskin wrap that rests on a rectangular flat stone at the center of the corridor, and then the corridor continues to the north.
I think we should take a moment and rest around this bonfire for a second, gather our senses.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Little aside, I do recall that, Runekarin being based off of Dark Souls a little bit.
Yep.
Like, I didn't want to use that knowledge at the very first one.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So I'll say that resting at the bonfire, it does what you'd expect it to do. Like you feel warmer, you feel a bit comforted, but there aren't any additional benefits that you get.
Oh, my flask ain't full yet.
I mean, it's always nice to take a breather, though.
Absolutely.
So as an aside, if you'd taken any damage in the last fight, having a quick breather and a drink of water would have refilled your grit. So grit is easy to lose, but also easy to recover.
Okay, so the water is mead equivalent.
Well, no, it isn't even. It's just kind of a short rest.
Okay.
And mechanically, it's explained by having a sip of water, but it doesn't like it's not like in Runecairn where you drink from the mead flask to recover your health. But it's just
Cool.
the fact that you're resting is what regains your grit.
So that means I would be able to reload the one shell that I fired, and then retain all grit or lead.
So
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that works.
yeah, so this is still a bit of a question because especially when it comes to the scattergun, because the scattergun has 2 shots, and reloading costs 1 lead. So would you reload after just firing once, potentially using up 1 lead when you didn't need to? So it's still something that I'm
Okay,
working through.
so if if both shots are fired, I can use 1 lead to load both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And Ryan, you fired once with each gun, so you've got 5 shots left in each.
A consideration there might be making it like an optional, like both use 1 lead,
Yeah.
because then I can't give them both barrels if one is empty.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, I mean that's what I think. That's a good choice, like mechanic to use. Like you could either use both shots now, and then you only take 1 lead to reload, right? Is that what? And or be able to have 1 and then immediately have another one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that as that the choice option.
yeah, so
It's kind of like a resource choice, like or like yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like a resource choice. You get the I already said it. You get both shots now and only get to sacrifice 1 a little later, or be able to have 1 shot now, 1 shot later, and do that. I think it's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it takes us a lead to reload.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how do we recover lead?
Lead is currency, so you find it in the world. There's a couple of other ways as well. So it's kind of a precious resource. So you can either sorry, what was that?
I said we deal in lead.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
Yeah. So I have 5 shots left on my guns. I don't need to reload now. He had it's 1 shot per barrel, fired both. So now you would have to spend
fired
lead
1
to reload.
so.
Yeah, you just
Fired.
fired it once.
So
Interesting.
I'm still
So
good,
that's
yeah.
therein is the question. Yeah, do you reload now, potentially sacrificing a lead, or do you save it?
Yeah, or do I reload now to avoid the situation where I might need to fire twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like that decision.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
the choice based role playing. It's kind of like a now option versus a later option.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're sacrificing a resource to potentially put yourself in a better situation, or you're not using the resource and risking putting yourself in a bad situation where you're going to do less damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And because it is not to get too tangential off the game here, because it is a resource that will be used, you don't run into the situation of the players hoarding onto it, Cyberpunk's luck, inspiration, and 5th edition, or what have you.
Yeah.
So, I just look at it, I assume it's like a break action, go, that'll do.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
So yeah, so there's a wolfskin wrap on the opposite side of the bonfire, and then the corridor continues to the north.
I don't know why the compass in me is saying we should go north, but I think we should head that way.
Well, I mean, before we go that way, and I'm gonna walk over to this wolfskin wrap and kind of like take it off and like shake it out. Is it like a wrap? Is in like this looks like something I can throw on, or
Yeah, you could potentially, like it's essentially a cured wolfskin, and it's been,
Still has the head on it.
yeah, it does. Yep.
hell yeah.
But it's been wrapped around something. So what it's been wrapped around are 2 lead.
Oh damn.
So, yeah, so you get the impression that you wouldn't normally find lead in this world. So this is an unusual occurrence.
Hold on now. They're savvy enough to be making lead, making these archaic keys of almost comical proportion, and they can barely make a sword. I am intrigued as to what is down that hallway.
Yeah. And we haven't seen a single bit of steel. It's interesting.
And say that again. All right.
Well, I mean, there's two, so one for me, one for you.
Oh, I may as well do it. Hell.
Cool.
And top off my lead. So I just there's no limit, I'm assuming, to lead.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's usually tough to find.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, I throw on the wolf wrap too.
Cool.
I mean, styling.
Yeah, you can fashion it into like a cloak if you want.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Now that suits you.
Yeah.
Oswald the Wolf has a nice ring to it.
Nice.
I've been called worse.
I mean, at one point we were both on the gallows, about to be two hanged men.
You know what? I love that we're the Order of the Gallows and you were an outlaw and I was a bandit.
Yeah, it works so well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're close enough to the corridor, like to the continuing corridor, that you can hear dim echoing sounds of water that come from it.
I hear some fluid dripping. Don't know if it's water. Hope it is.
And I'll take the lead this time.
All right.
And push that direction.
Okay.
Guns out.
I got yourself.
Yeah.
So the narrow corridor opens to a broad cavern with a high curved dome ceiling covered in mushrooms and lichen. At the center of the cavern lies a murky pool. A dusty skeleton sits against the eastern wall. So the thing that strikes you first is the pungent smell of wet rot and decay and the heavy moisture in the air. There's a dripping sound as condensation trickles into the murky pool. And the crumbling skeleton slouches against the rough wall, skull lolling with one leg outstretched, so it's kind of laying against the wall. And there's a jagged stone corridor that continues to the north.
And we came from the south, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this doesn't look good. Don't smell good neither. So is it possible to skirt around the pool and check out the skeleton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what Alexander would be doing.
Okay. And Oswald, are you gonna kind of hang back, or are you gonna follow?
I'm gonna sidle, in that direction as well. But I'm gonna. How far? Like, how big is the cavern compared to the pool? Like, if he was at the skeleton at the wall, how far would I be at the edge of the pool?
Be about 10 feet.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Well, then I'll follow him, but I'll kind of walk a little bit more towards the pool and kind of like take a peek at it while he's looking at the skeleton.
Mm-hmm. So as you get close to the skeleton, it starts to move, and you can hear like bones scraping on cave floor as it stands up. And it was lying on a spear, so it picks up the spear.
This ain't gonna end well for you, buddy. You sure you want to do this?
It just kind of looks at you and just opens its mouth like, and raises the spear.
I guess I'll try and use my saber.
Okay.
So it's in the... Well, actually... Alright, I gotta ask about cookware, because I frying pan or a cast iron skillet is a formidable weapon.
It is, yeah. So it would be a cast iron skillet.
All right. I think I would actually use that because the saber against the skeleton, like even without like general knowledge of things, it seems like that would be the weapon of choice.
Yeah. So yeah, the cast iron frying pan would do D6 if you want to attack with it.
D6, cool.
So yeah, you don't have to roll to hit with the frying pan. So you can just roll D6 and smash its head.
All right. Gotta set D6 here. Six. And that is a 6.
Excellent. Okay, so you smash it in the head. You can hear it crack, and it like staggers back. But it's still coming, and it stabs you with the spear.
Oh, hey now, buddy.
So what's your defense?
My defense is 1, and then I have 1 dex, I think.
Oh, okay. If your defense is your the armor that you have, like the weapon.
Oh yeah, so that is 1. Yeah.
1. Okay. So you take 1 point of damage to your grit.
All right.
And Oswald.
Son of a bitch. Stung.
You hear something drag itself out of the pond as another skeleton emerges. It looks like it was hanging onto the side of the pond, and it drags itself out, also holding a spear.
Right. Well, then I am not carrying the party cookware.
A little bit before that, you just heard a little dong.
Yeah, right. So I'll just try to shoot this sumbitch in the head.
Cool. Yeah, roll 2d6 for your shoot table.
Right. Do I always shoot with both guns?
No, you don't. You can choose, like you can pick and choose. You can shoot one target twice, or which for damage advantage, or you could shoot 2 targets, and each do damage to either, or like to both.
Damage advantage, because that's my 2 and 2 for my twin 6-shooters.
Well, no. So that's your special attack. But if it's just a normal attack, you can fire both guns at 1 target, and roll your damage twice, and then take the higher of the 2 rolls.
Right. The 2 and 2 is what it's called, right?
No, that's the special attack. Your standard attack is just doesn't take any fatigue. But if you
I see what it is now. I see what it is now. To do that, because it's damage advantage against 2 different targets,
yeah.
And then but I take the fatigue. All right, I see what you're saying. I got it. I'm putting it together. I got it. Then I'm gonna just fire twice on this guy. So I'll fire one from each gun. So I'll do 2d6 twice.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 times. So I got a damn. I got a 4 and a 6.
So.
Oh no, 6 is okay. 12 is bad. Got it. All right.
Yeah. So your total was 4 and 6 on your 2 rolls.
Yep, 4 for the first shot and 6 for the second shot.
Cool. So both of those hit. So roll your d8 twice, and then take the higher result for your damage.
Man, thank God we've been doing this for a while. Sure, firing these guns in the cavern would be a little bit ear ringing.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Sorry, what?
They are ridiculously loud. The guns.
So I rolled a 7.
7. Cool. So it hits it in the skull. You can see a big chunk of the skull come away, It's still coming, but it's kind of rocked back.
Gotcha. So when I fire both guns at the same time, I just take I do damage twice, and I just take the highest of the shots. It's not 2 sets of damage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, so damage advantage. Got it.
Yeah, I did it wrong against the Stone Demon. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Yeah, so it's damage advantage. Cool.
I see. Because if I only fire 1, it's just the damage for the 1. But by firing 2, since I get to roll it twice, I take the highest, and you're still only doing 1 die of damage, but you get 2 dice to potentially. Good, smart.
Cool. So yeah, it's gonna stab at you with its spear.
Careful now, it hurts.
What's your defense?
Just have 1.
1. Okay, so that's 5 points of damage to your grit.
Fuck, it does. That didn't tickle. Dang.
Told you, man. Core workout.
Oh, that hurt a lot.
Okay, back to Alexander.
All right, so I'm gonna give it another swing with the cast iron skillet, the one in front of me.
Yeah, roll your damage, d6.
So D6 and roll die. I got a 5 there.
5. Excellent. So that takes it under 0, and so the remainder goes against its strength, and it needs to make a critical damage save, which it makes. It kind of just barely, like, you hit it again, and it skull cracks, but it's still coming.
Okay, I see you. A little bit tougher now.
And it stabs you with the spear for 2 points. Sorry, 2 points of damage. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Right, and Oswald.
I'm gonna keep on blasting.
So 2 shots into the one target again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I that first one hurt quite a bit. I need to not get hit again.
So
I rolled a 7 and a 9.
So both of those are grazes. So it's D4 damage instead of your full D8. And so damage advantage with the D4.
4.
4. Okay, so that takes it down under 0 for grit. The 2 shot, or the 2 shots blast through it. One hits its ribcage, and the other takes away the remainder of its skull, and it falls back down into the pond, and is dead.
Now stay down.
Right, back to Alexander. So the skeleton you're fighting it's barely keeping itself together.
Down the cast iron. And that is a 6.
6.
Nice.
Cool. So you hear like the clong, and so it rolled a natural 20 for its critical damage save, which is a failure, a critical failure. So it
Right, because lower better.
exactly. So the entire skeleton just shatters from the final impact of the cast iron skillet. Just
Hell yeah.
So its spear clatters to the ground.
This Loge brand cookware is really good.
Yeah.
Turn to the
I
camera.
chuckle through gritted teeth, kind of holding on to this wound I got. I mean, that hurt. That wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great myself. Putting on a little bit of strong face right now.
So now that combat's done, you can take a breather. You can rest for a moment and take a sip of water, for instance, and you can regain all your lost grit.
I think taking a breather might be a wise idea.
As you say that, I've already like slumped against the side of the cable and like slumped down. Yeah, probably. Um,
So the grit is easy come, easy go. If you take strength damage, then that takes a lot longer to recover from, because that's like kind of your meat hit points essentially.
Gotcha. So grit it's kind of like it's like armor protection kind of in some systems.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the soak.
Yeah.
Soak. Yep.
In Cairn,
it's the stat damage that gets you.
Yeah, Cairn it's called hit protection, and Rune Cairn it's resilience. So it's basically how good you are at avoiding taking damage.
Okay.
All right. So there's the pond here, or the murky pool, and then there's the path that leads north to a jagged corridor.
This might be a bad idea, but you want to toss one of them spears into the murky pool? Just
toss
saying.
the skeleton in. But yeah, we could chuck it in there.
All right.
I mean, I sure ain't going in.
I'll take it. Holding the scatter gun off to the side and just chuck one of the spears in.
Yeah, you throw it down. You see it's maybe about 15 feet down, but it's like the visibility drops off. You see it like go down into the pond, and nothing happens. Like nothing doesn't look like it disturbs anything.
All right, we have to remember that this is here, and at some point we might have to go into it. I don't want to go into it right now because it smells like death.
Yeah.
Like literally. I'm not worried about dying in it. It just smells awful.
Yeah, I mean, I like shove like my wolf pelt back on. I'm like, I just got this thing. I ain't ruining it already.
Nice.
I feel like this is where you find, the good stuff. But like you said, I ain't going in here right now.
All right. Now, let me just make a little bit of a decision here. I'll take a coin and toss it up. Let's go evens. All right. I start taking off my duster, setting it off to the side. Well, there's only one way to find out. And if that key is down there and we miss it, I'm going to be pissed, so I'm going to look for it. Take off the...
Well, I already forgot about that key. This is why you're the boss.
Take off my flowing clothes and all that.
Mm-hmm. You're going to dive into the pool, or jump into the pool?
I would approach cautiously, like as much as I could.
Okay. Yeah,
and I left on my pants.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of enter the water. It is the sides are slick with green algae. The depth, you can tell it looks like about 15 feet, but it like visibility drops off quite a bit. Do you dive down to look a bit deeper?
I would take a deep breath and see if I can like feel around the bottom at all.
Okay.
Besides a spear, I imagine.
So you can see as you kind of get a bit deeper, and you can see dim light glowing from the bottom of the pool, of the pond. There's an item down there. It looks like a glowing crystal almost.
Grab it.
Cool. It's warm to the touch.
Then resurface, just kind of like holding it up above as the.
All right. So you're not quite sure what this is. You can sense magic from it, but the use of magic in the Drifted World is it's very rare and like still unknown. Most magic takes a form of rituals. Like there aren't really spells as such, but you can sense the magic in this, and that makes it inherently powerful. You don't sense dark intention from it. You get a warm feeling from it, like a warm healing feeling from this, from the item. You're not quite sure what it is.
This happened to be very similar to like a life gemstone from like Dark Souls 2.
So
just the Tom asking, not Alexander.
Yeah. So essentially, what this is it's a soul remnant. So from Dark Souls, you break a soul to kind of get the currency of the souls.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell you there's no reason not to tell you. If you were to use this, it would heal ability damage. So if you took strength damage, it could heal. If you were to break it open, it would heal up to D4 ability damage.
Meanwhile, Alexander's like, I got a magic rock. Don't know if it was worth the smell, but it's warm to the touch.
That's something. You do stink like a sumbitch, though.
Probably smelled better coming out than going in now. So yeah, don my garb.
Cool.
Guess I would toss that into my pouch or bag.
So it's small, so it won't take up any slots.
Magic rock or stat heal.
Right, so the corridor continues on to the north, jagged stone corridor, and then there's to the south is where you came from.
All right, so I've led, you've led, side by side now. I don't know, the skeleton's hurt.
Yeah.
So the irregular rocky ground slants upward, and the corridor curves, revealing a long, flat tunnel. There's a handful of broken arrows that litter the ground at a bend in the cave. You can see a figure at the end of the cave, wielding a bow with a nocked arrow. There's a cramped alcove about halfway down the corridor, and past the bowman is a path to the southeast at the end of the corridor, at the end of the kind of the peak of the corridor.
See what I see.
Yeah, I think he sees us.
So there's an alcove off to the side?
Yeah, so it's a long, straight corridor, then an alcove, and then continues up, and then there's the bowman, and then the path continues that way. It's halfway between you and the bowman is the alcove.
And then book it towards that alcove.
So you dropped out a bit at the beginning there.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to take that cast iron skillet, hold it in front of my face,
Yeah.
and just book it towards that alcove.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, you're protecting your head. The bowman spots you and turns and fires, but using the cast iron skillet, manages to deflect the arrow successfully, and you make it into the alcove.
And it's still good to cook with.
This can't be beat. It's the bowman's drawing another arrow, and it's about to.
I'll race after him as well.
Yeah. So as you kind of make it into the alcove, just as the arrow goes whizzing by, the alcove. Sorry, just bear with me a second here. There we go. Yeah. So there's another wolfskin wrap that's resting in the alcove. It's wrapped up, same as the other one was.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to check this one out.
I don't need to.
Unbundle it.
Yeah, it's another 2 lead. So it's a gift wrap.
One for me and one for you. And go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and reload then.
Cool.
My guns. Now, if I have the 6-shooter, when I reload, am I back to 6 full shots on the gun?
Yeah, that's right.
12 full
So,
shots?
Each gun's, so 12.
Yeah. So it would cost 2 lead to reload both guns.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just do that then, because I was down to 3 shots each, and who knows what's gonna happen next. So, found 1, spent 2, 12 shots. All right.
Cool.
I'll also drape the wolf. I mean, I think we might need to reconsider an order name at this point. Order of the Hanged Wolf or something like that.
Nice.
Hanged Wolf. I like that.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right. You locked and loaded, ready to roll.
Okay, yeah. So so you're in the alcove. You can hear that the bowman is kind of still firing arrows at you, or at at the space where you were before you ducked into the alcove.
I'll do a little peek around the alcove corner there and let a scattergun shot rip.
Cool. Roll your 2d6.
Ready? 2d6. 8.
8 is a graze, so a d4 damage because it's
All right.
Didn't quite get a full hit.
That is a 1 on the d4.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing ain't good for shooting too far away. Am I kidding? I love you.
All right. Oswald, do you want to follow suit, or what would you like to do?
I mean, if this some bitch keeps firing those arrows, he's gonna run out eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but them spears really hurt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, all right. And I'll just kind of do the same thing, just kind of give him one of these and duck back in.
Oh, is it just one shot?
I'll just do one shot, yeah, just to test it, just to see what's going on. So it's it's 2d6 once.
Yeah.
I got an 8. Damn, son of a bitch.
That's a graze, so d4.
Slippery some bitch. I got a 3.
3. Okay. Okay. So you catch it in the kind of the side of the head, and you can see that it's a good hit, even though it was a graze. It went in deep enough, and it just collapses to the ground, drops his bow, and the arrows that it was carrying scatter on the ground.
Well, all right.
All right. Yeah. Very cautiously kind of step out with my scattergun and move forward slowly.
Mm-hmm.
He was firing arrows at us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the archer was firing arrows at us. Do they seem broken on the stones or anything, or do they seem salvageable in any way?
You can salvage them, but they're pretty low quality. Like the like stone tipped, really almost rotting air like fletch or like the shaft of the arrow. So you can like kind of harvest some arrows from them, but they're not very good.
Gotcha. Well, I'll hold on to one
Mm-hmm.
just in the context of like walking up to kind of look at it, but not like grab a bunch and pocket them or anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Out of curiosity, is there dynamite or anything equivalent in We Deal in Lead?
There is. But the short answer is I haven't put it in yet. The long answer is that's a good idea, and I'll put it in.
I think you can see immediately where I'm going.
Yeah.
Duke Brothers style.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this looks pretty crude. I think we should trust our guns.
Yeah, it's stone tipped, rotting, and when we see the bowman, do we get a sense of his ness?
It's so similar to the other kind of forms that you saw, dressed in tattered clothing. They're more aggressive than the ones that you saw, like banging against the wall, but similar kind of like a dead thing. Like you can, there's no life left. There's like movement, but there's no vitality. There's no spirit left in them. It's just like an empty shell.
Alright, so I'm starting to think this Severin man was a little bit of a necromancer.
That's a good possibility.
Not the kissing type. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Alright. I feel like I wasted lead on this guy, though. Barely hit him and he fell down.
Yeah, those arrows look like they would have given us tetanus or something.
So the corridor continues, like curves to the southeast.
Yep. Continue on.
Cool. So the cramped path opens to reveal a lush grotto exposed to the sky. Radiant beams of sunlight bathe the cavern in golden glow. A sprawling tree flourishes at the center, brilliant red apples dotted amongst the green. A hooded woman tends to the tree, holding a wooden basket. There's a fresh breeze that caresses your exposed skin. The smell of apple and honey fills the senses. A vast apple tree reaches up to the clear blue sky. The woman harvests apples from the tree, placing them in her basket. And further past the tree at the other end of the corridor, or the grotto, daylight returns to shadow.
Well, I mean, it looks nice, but
Trust us one bit.
Oh no! I mean, I couldn't tell you last time I had honey, but I don't want any of hers.
Going to be a silly question, but there are no silly questions when I think about it. In the land that we came from, how common would honey be?
This entire scene would be like a paradise from what you've come from. Like the drifted world is generally a desert, or at least stuff struggles to grow. There isn't a lot of fresh fruit or like fresh green growth. Some areas there are, but the region that you're from is more of a desert. They call it the bleached desert. So this is like beyond your wildest dreams. Like you've heard of honey before, but it's exceedingly rare. And an apple tree is something that only exists in stories.
All right. I'll kind of lower the scattergun and approach. Hey, you there?
She turns and looks genuinely shocked and surprised. She almost drops her basket. She sees you. Who are you? You're not from this world.
Negatory. Looking for someone about yay tall, wearing a poncho, maybe black. The poncho, that is.
Yes. I thought after seeing him there might be more of you, more like him. He passed through here a day or two ago. The man in black. He didn't stop to speak to me like you did. I kept my distance. I could tell, as you are, he was not from my world.
Now, there's an order of operations to these questions. I gotta lead off with, why are there so many animated skeletons around here?
The shades. The dead that walk. This is a dark place. This is a
There's no rest after life, is there?
Not for those. Not for the hollows. They've lost all humanity, and they've lost themselves to the darkness. But there's no death for them. They're not within. They're not in the scheme. The fates have.
That is why I do not forget the face of your father.
So they say.
Without infringing on any other IPs, that is. Do you mind if I take one of these apples? I've only heard of them in myth.
Please, have your fill, yes.
This could be dumb, could be enjoyable, but that's the way. That's how you have fun. And Alexander will just take a nice, hopefully crisp bite of. I hope it's something better than a Red Delicious, but I'm not going to come.
I was gonna say, if this ain't a Honey Crisp, I'm rioting.
You've never tasted anything as sweet as this fresh apple. It blows away anything you've had in like your whole life. The vibrancy and the life essence that's in this apple. It almost brings you to tears. It's that moving. It's almost a transcendent experience for you.
Oswald. Apple now. if may you have one?
Please, yes, help yourselves.
You're still breathing. You ain't gotta tell me twice. And I'll go grab an apple and take a big old bite.
Yeah, same kind of experience. Never had anything as sweet or as fresh. The woman seems genuinely pleased that you're enjoying it so much. She kind of gestures up to the tree. She says, "These are Ethan's apples. This is her grove, her grotto. Her touch still lingers here, even though she fell in the last war. These."
How long ago was this last war? Oh, what's your name? I'm sorry. Very rude of me.
My name is Ethis. The last war was eons ago. I lose track of time tending to the grotto. The man you seek would not eat the apples. The apples were not for him.
Now you say that, and it sounds quite ominous.
These are life-giving apples, and he is one who takes lives.
Well, about that,
He is an
these ain't healing bullets.
She looks at your guns, and her eyes kind of like register surprise and confusion, and like she doesn't quite understand what she's seeing.
Well, Oswald and I follow some strict tenets. I think Oswald can tell you top 3. I'm so sorry for just setting you up like that.
Bitch. Bitch.
I'm passing the spotlight, man.
Tenets, the tenets of our order. Let me try to remember this. I think the first one is you don't kill women and children, right?
Unless they're witches.
Right. Well, I mean,
Proven witches that actually have done sorceress stuff.
Right. I think seeking justice. I think we only kill those that deserve it. Right.
And also, we do believe that people can reform and have second chances. That's actually a big part of what we're about.
Yeah.
She looks over, like she looks you both up and down, and says, "Yes, I sense the goodness in you, and there is death that follows you, but sometimes death is a good thing."
Well, not to the hollows, but we appreciate the kind words. So, as much as I'd love to stay in this bit of ambrosia for a while, he said he went that away.
Yes, he's searching for the end of the cave and the exit from the Cave of Echoes.
He's got a 2-day lead. What do you make of this?
Well, I think. Well, first of all, is there honey here too? Because I smell it.
It smells like it, or like it looks like it's blossoms on the trees. That's what smells like honey.
Oh, these are honey crisps. I got it. Well, would it be okay as I finish my apple, core and all, literally all of it, if I took one of these for the road?
Yeah, she gestures up and says, "Take your fill." Yes.
Yeah, I take as many as I can fit in one inventory slot.
So that'll be, let's say 6.
6. I got half a dozen apples.
I won't take any because I'm trying to respect the. I'm not saying what you did is disrespectful. I feel like if I were to take 6 too, that's plus the 2 we ate. That's a lot of apples.
There are like the tree is covered in apples.
I'm like putting on that facade of I'm the errant. I gotta Meanwhile, it's like I don't know what I'm doing here. All right.
So then, well, I mean, it was very nice to meet you.
Yes,
But
thank
I
you
do
very
think-
much, Ethos.
Yeah.
Good.
Stay safe.
Good luck on your journey,
Yeah.
and may you find what you seek.
Yep. That'd be revenge.
So the on the other side of the grotto is a heavily shadowed path that leads up over Jagged Stone.
As we walk away, I kind of nudge him, and I was like, "Smooth, right?" Oh, I think we dropped out again.
Yeah.
The microphone, like if I sometimes just like say something at a certain angle, it just doesn't pick it up.
Yeah, I think you dropped connection there for a second.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't. If you were saying something, we didn't catch what you said.
All I did was smooth, yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So do you head up the path?
Absolutely.
Cool. Right. So the rocky terrain forms a crude natural staircase, obscured in heavy shadow. The path climbs further up, leading to a shallow arch. You can hear a soft whistling sound coming from somewhere far under the stone. There's a crumpled form in a heap at the peak of the arch. There's a smooth incline at the end of the tunnel, and at the base of the incline, you see broken and shattered bones.
All right, crumpled mass. Does it look humanoid?
It's wearing tattered clothing, and it looks like it's curled up around a spear.
All right.
So there's like an arch, and it's at the peak of the arch, and at the base of the arch is broken, shattered bones.
First, I wanna kick all those bones away.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna make sure that, like, if there's any skulls, I'm gonna step on them with like a,
Crunch them. Yeah. You
crunch 'em.
as you're doing that, you can see that something's like crushed them already. Like it looks like they're mostly powder now. Still some decently sized pieces, but yeah, you just kind of scatter them all.
I crush them.
Yeah.
Crush them even more. Spit on it.
So you said there was something going on with the above the archway.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like, it's almost like a stone ramp.
Okay.
And at the top of the ramp that's where the form is, the crumpled form, and then the corridor continues past there, but you can't really see because you're at the base of the ramp.
Well, let's try and stick to the side, advance upwards, maybe.
Okay. Are you both going up? Are you gonna hang back, Oswald?
No, I'll go up. Another one of these damn skeletons again. You got your pan ready, right?
I got the gun this time.
All right.
Too many hits. We gotta be able to fry eggs tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. As you start to walk up the incline, can you both roll a dex save, please?
All right. So for dex save, that would be
Just roll under your dex score, your dex ability score.
I don't like. Is that a 2d6?
When it was when it generated the character, it was strength,
crap.
dex, and a heart.
Right. So I have a 1.
It should be. It's a 3d6 roll. So you can if you didn't note it down, just re-roll 3d6, and that'll be your dex.
Okay. For some reason it said 1, which confused me.
Weird.
So D20 roll under our dex.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11. That might have also been tired 2 hours ago, me looking at that. That would make sense for maybe I just like put 1 and 1 in each column instead of 11 or something like that. Right, so D20 under 11.
Yeah.
Just 1 above.
Okay. And Ryan?
I got a 14, but my dex is 12, so I also failed.
So there's a from further past the crumpled form, a massive boulder comes rolling out. It rolls over the form, which kind of twitches and then collapses again, and it rolls down and hits you both for 7 points of damage.
-1 for defense, or does that bypass?
It bypasses defense, yeah.
Wonderful.
Heard about these things.
Yeah,
and so where the boulder came from, you can see another form kind of stagger out, like kind of walk out holding a spear. So it looks like he's pushed that down on top of you guys.
Is he out of boulders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, bitch. And that hurt. That hurt real bad. So I'm gonna blast him.
All right.
Both barrels. It's 2d6 twice. I ain't screwing around. I got a 9 and a 2.
Cool. So the 9 is a graze. The 2 is max damage. So that's D8 damage. Or sorry, it would be 8 damage because it's damage advantage. Okay. Cool. Where's that? There it is. Okay. You kind of unleash thunder on him in the corridor, and he just takes two shots, one to the chest, one to the head, and he just collapses on top of the body of his comrade, who is laying in wait but has now been crushed by the boulder.
Well, it worked.
We survived. Can we like put a hand against the boulder and take a breather for a second?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're outside of combat, so you can recover your grit.
All right, let's steal ourselves with some rest here. And so the grit recovery is this straight up all full?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right, let's go check that out. Maybe they got something on them. Might be crushed now though.
So yeah, the one that was like kind of crumpled or like crushed by the boulder had a spear, but it's been crushed by the boulder. And the other one still has a spear, but it's similar to the sword, made from iron, like crudely forged iron, and the shaft is wooden and rotting.
Rotten wood ain't no good for nothing.
Nope.
All right. Onwards then, I suppose. And actually, before doing that, I'll take a look around to see if there's anything of note, if I may.
No, it looks like it's just this corridor and then the arch, and then the path continues.
Now, where did the boulder end up? Did it go down the path? Did it block the path behind us? What?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the width of the corridor, so it crashed into the wall behind you.
I hope Ethel's okay with her apples.
Yeah, it didn't kind of make it all the way into the grotto.
All right, let's
really lower her customers.
All right, so
let's keep on keeping on.
Cool. So the next room is a flat, broad room littered with piles of broken and smashed bones, shattered weaponry, and crushed armor. Massive cracks litter the stone ground and jagged walls, as if smashed by something immense. The ground has been compacted, and like it's stone, but it's been compacted and covered in a dense layer of fine dust. On the western side, the ground leads to a rocky ledge overlooking a wide open area, and there's a heavy iron key that hangs from a hook on the southern wall.
Now, I might not be the smartest turnip that fell off the cart, but that looks like bait.
That is what that looks like to me.
Now, haul something out to see if there's something in weight.
You dropped out a little bit there.
Dropped out again.
Yeah, sorry about that. I would try to do a little bit of a wolf whistle to see if there's anything laying in wait.
Okay. So you whistle and it echoes around the chamber. You don't hear anything back. You don't see anything. It's pretty quiet except for the echoing. But you do notice that there are a lot of stalactites on the ceiling. And you recognize that you're above where you used to be. You're above where you killed the stone demon. So you're on the ledge.
Oh, okay. So you looped back up, got the higher ground. Got it. Just because I'm paranoid about stalactites, I'm gonna take my scattergun and just fire some off at the ones in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
I need to reload, so...
Yeah, cool. It doesn't take a lot. Like, they kind of hit the stalactites and they just come falling down. Some of them were loose, some were like looser than others, so they just fall down and impact on the ground. It looks like this is where the stone demon was previously, before it jumped down and attacked you both.
So beneath us is the doors and the tunnel, and we're on the ledge that was previously up there. Is the stone demon's stony body still down there?
Yeah, it's still destroyed.
Gotcha. And then, did you say that we could like walk around to there's like a ledge around to get to that spot, or are we cut off from it?
No, you can. Yeah, so there's a ledge that looks down onto the lower area where you were previously, and where you are now is like a flat open area, hanging on the wall is another key.
I mean, all we can do is just grab the key, so just cover me, I guess.
All right.
And I'll go grab the key.
Cool. Yeah. Nothing pops out. Nothing falls down. You can go over and grab the key with little problem.
Now,
all right.
Oswald, I gotta ask. You reckon we could have buddy system boosted each other up here?
And just skipped all that other stuff?
That boulder really hurt.
I mean, yeah, but... And I pull out an apple, and I kind of shine it a little bit. Yeah. I feel like it was damn worth it. How far down to the ground beneath us? Do we feel like we need to walk all the way back, or could we, kind of hang off the ledge and drop?
Yeah, you could, if given enough time, or like doing it safely enough, you can drop down. It's about 20-25 feet down, so you can drop without taking any damage or without hurting yourself.
Yeah. Seems reasonable. And right down there will be a door with a key, hopefully still in it.
Mm-hmm. So you grab.
Oh no, I definitely did not leave the key in.
Okay.
I was like, that's a bold choice, but I get it.
No. Yep, definitely took that with us.
So you grab the.
Grab the key slowly, like just safely. Find the part where it's like maybe the lowest. Hang off as far as we can. Just drop the distance and be just in front of the doorway with both keys in hand.
Yep. Do you put both keys in?
Yeah, we'll just gonna.
Yeah. So
push and pull.
So as soon as you put the keys in, there's another pleasant, resounding chunk, and the doors start to open inward. And as soon as the doors start to open, you hear and feel violent, piercing wind that shrieks through the narrow stone channel, cold tearing at your skin and chilling your breath. Ice gathers on the stone walls, and the path is perilous. So the wind carries a foul stench and drowns out most sound. There's a frozen stream that crosses the ground, water that is running from deeper inside the cave. And mist and fog gathers near the end, obscuring the path.
We're in a corridor with some water running through and fog, like mist at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why does it stink so bad in this cave? And it's not just you.
Same reason I've been wondering why there's so many pieces of scattered bone around. In fact, if I were to be taking notes, it would literally read, why are there so many bones? But does this water seem like it's moving? Is it like fetid or still?
It's frozen. So water that...
Okay, so it's like a ice flow?
Yeah.
All right, well, bundling up the fur.
Mm-hmm.
Furs.
So yeah, wolf fur is excellent at keeping away the cold. So you've got no problem.
Is there in the I've yet to go through the latest PDF, but is there like environmental conditions?
Yeah, so there's like hex crawls and wilderness exploration.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there are some conditions that will like drain your resources. So either rations or fatigue. But like having like one of the pieces of armor you can get is thick furs, so that'll protect you from the cold a bit more.
Okay. And with this being Cairn-like, you can use that really with anything that's designed with Cairn, and it makes sense because of the kind of multiversal nature.
Yeah, exactly.
I see you.
This is why I wanted to run it in Runecairn. Or run it for a Runecairn adventure.
All right. Shall we?
Push it through the fog?
Yeah, we'll just go forward.
Cool. All right.
Imagine when we push through the fog, we're going to see a little bit of a cinematic and a name appear.
Pushing through the fog, you find a plateau exposed to the sky. An enormous raven is perched on a broad ash stump, black eyes staring. Between you and the raven is a dead thing, clad in broken and rusted armor, wielding a bearded axe, eyes glowing with red malevolence. A simple wooden door in a frame sits closed next to the raven. So here the stinging wind is even stronger, lashing exposed skin and carrying a putrid stench. The death blue dead warrior waits, red eyes scanning. The enormous raven shuffles on its perch, watching you. The door
it smells so bad.
The door is seemingly supported by nothing, and there's a brass plaque on it, but you can't quite see what it says because you're a bit too far away.
So we definitely see the big red bar show up at the bottom, and
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna, once again, one-arming my scattergun. Say,
Which one's?
I'm
Which
going
one's
to be
combat?
giving them both barrels and say, I do not aim with my hand.
So you're gonna fire on the dead thing.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah. Go roll. So you're gonna give it both barrels.
Yes.
Cool. So roll your 2d6 just once for your shoot table.
All right. Got 11.
11 is a miss.
Wah, wah, wah.
But
That's why you should aim with your hand, maybe.
but because it's a scatter gun, I'll say it isn't a total miss, and you get a chunk out of it. So you'll get D4 damage with that one.
Okay. All right. That's 3 damage.
The dead thing stumbles back, and he looks enraged and perplexed. You do not belong here. Who are you, and why are you in my cave?
Yeah, maybe we need to talk before shooting.
Well, as he says that, he approaches and is raising his axe.
I'm gonna, start doing like Neo in the bottom, just start running off to the side and like firing off.
Nice. Are you using your 2 and 2 ability, the special attack?
So it's just and maybe I'm completely wrong with the 2 and 2. That's to hit 2 different targets, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you can. So there is a the 6-gun, the solo 6-gun has a special attack too, but you need 2 hands to do it. So you'd have to put one gun away, and then there's one called Fan the Hammer, which basically just unloads everything on it.
Yeah, I was about to ask if there, I was looking through the PDF to see if there's a Fan the Hammer option.
Yeah. So if you wanted to holster one of your guns and then fan the hammer, and that would use up all your shots, but you'd, well, again, that's like better for multiple targets. So I think you're probably best off just firing both times at him, because there's no
because if I hit 5 times, he gets just the highest damage.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll just do the regular. Do I feel like the Raven is a target right now?
It doesn't. It isn't acting in an aggressive manner to you. It's just kind of watching.
Okay. All right. Well then then I'll just do what I've been doing.
Cool.
And do the 2d6 2 times.
Yep.
I got a 7 and an 8.
Both are grazes, so D4 twice, and then take the highest one.
We're really forgetting the name of our father here.
It's the stench as well. You can tell that the stench is coming from the dead thing, so that's throwing you off.
I can't even remember the face of our father.
2.
2. Okay. So the corpse walks up to Alexander and attacks with his bearded axe. But your waxed cotton duster manages to deflect any damage. And as you're he's right next to you, can you make a strength save, please? The stench that's coming from him is makes him want to vomit.
Wow, my. All right, so that is I need to roll under 6. Okay. Rolled 3.
3, excellent. So yeah, you managed to kind of shrug off the stench and not vomit. So you're good, and you're not affected by that going forward. All right, so back to Alexander.
All right. So I assume reloading with grit would take my entire action
Yeah.
for the economy there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that burns 1 grit, right?
1 lead. Yeah.
Sorry, 1 lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, reload my gun with force of will. Come on, fire!
Well, we shoot with we shoot with heart and reload with will. You know, it's what's inside that counts. You know,
absolutely.
And God tier gunslinger, you reload automatically or reload with your mind, with your heart.
You've got the like cinematic amount of ammo.
Yeah.
Just enough for narrative purposes, and then I'll try to distance myself a little bit back.
Mm-hmm. All right, Oswald.
Same old.
All right.
I got a 10 and a 7.
10 and a 7. So that's a miss and a graze. So a D4 for damage.
Do I still get the damage advantage if I only hit with one of the guns, or is it only when I hit with both?
It's only when you hit with both. Two? Okay. Alright, still coming. Alexander has backed off a bit, so he's going to go for you, Oswald.
This is a train.
Thank you, some bitch.
You take 1 damage from the axe. Okay, and back up to Alexander.
Is there any kind of mechanic for grappling something?
Yeah. Did you want to or what did you want to do? I'll
so
ask you that way.
I kind of want to rush this thing down, like by the legs, and use my shoulder to drive it down.
To put it on the ground.
Yeah. So maybe Oswald can get some better hits in.
Yeah, cool. If you wanna make a strength save for that for that maneuver.
Come on. That is over by 4.
Okay. So yeah, you don't manage to kind of power him to the ground. He's a bit too strong, and you're not quite in a strong enough position.
Shoulder.
And Oswald.
The bony thing kind of hurts, by the way.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna keep on blasting until I run out and gotta reload here.
All right, go for it.
8 and a 6.
So 6 is a hit. Yes, just let me. Yep, 6 is a hit. 8 is a graze. So roll a D4 and a D8, and then take the highest.
The D8 was a 7. Well, then I don't even need to roll the D4 because it's going to be low.
Nice. Okay. So the 2 shots blast through the dead thing's chest and its head. It knocks the helmet off that it was wearing, and kind of blows a hole in its head. You can see the hatred in its eyes just kind of fade away, and his eyes, the red eyes, just turn to white, and then it collapses to the ground and drops the axe that it was holding.
I don't like that raven's still there, just watching us, though.
Yeah, it kind of shuffles on its legs and kind of moves its head quizzically.
Still feeling like there's a red bar below the screen. I'll approach towards the raven and be like, "We good?"
It doesn't. You get the impression it doesn't quite know what to make of you, as if you're the wrong people, it's not who you're not who it's waiting for. It kind of like shuffles back and forth and looks at the door and like pecks its head.
I got an idea. Take this magic glowing rock. Now, ravens, crows, they like shiny things. Right?
Yep.
And I'll extend it outwards. Like, we good?
It looks at you and like, "What?"
Alright, it is worth trying. What here about that axe?
Yeah. Do you want to grab it, or do you want to have a look at it?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
So it's just a moment here. I'll get you a description of it.
Sorry, the sunlight's like starting to come through my curtains.
That's all right.
Either that or a rapture's happening. I'm not sure.
Okay. Beauty axe. So it's a wrought iron head with a hooked steel cutting edge attached to an oak haft. So this weapon is a lot of much higher quality than the other ones that you've seen. It looks like nothing you've seen before. You've come across axes in the Drifted World before, but nothing like this. Like this looks like an archaic museum piece almost.
Well, Oswald, you did do the majority of the blows there. So I gotta ask if you want this axe. It's quite a masterwork, if I do say so myself.
I mean, it's a beaut. Don't get me wrong, but I think I got both hands full. You know.
Nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to reload as well.
Okay, cool.
Kind of low.
I'll pass you my saber. Be like, this meant a lot to me. Got me through some tough times. I feel like I'm more of an axe man.
Nice.
So, all right. Yeah, you can take
What's the
that
saber?
saber.
A D.
It is D8.
D8.
So you can take that if you want.
Sure.
Add this,
I'll throw it on just so we have something.
ancient axe.
So as you're kind of having a look at the corpse and like looking at the axe, the door opens. The door that was standing next to the raven. Door opens and your old friend and comrade, now turned traitor, Severin, steps out, hand on his holster, holding his revolver. Black hat, black duster. Tips his hat to you, smiles with a shit-eating grin. Well, howdy there, folks. Looks like you found me, didn't you?
Found the one who forgot the face of his father, betrayed Isaac. You're not going to make it out. You're not making it out of here alive.
Well, figure that makes you the new errant, Alexander.
Bet your ass.
Finally grew them balls.
Been grown for a while.
He kind of nods and like flips the latch on his holster. Looks at you and says, "Feel your hand, you son of a bitch." So this is a Gunslinger Duel.
Before we go into duel,
Yep.
not to break tension here, what's the damage on the ancient axe?
It's D8.
All right, thank you.
No problem. It's a rune carrying weapon. So Gunslinger Duel. Two gunslingers face off. Roll heart. Each side rolls a heart save, and then how well that goes determines who hits and type of damage. So duels bypass grit entirely and attack strength directly. So damage is done to strength and triggers a critical damage save. So it's serious business, duels. So is it you, Alexander, who'd like to participate in the duel, or Oswald?
I feel kind of obligated, as Oswald did do all of the heavy lifting on that stink demon. All right. Now he's got a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
All right, I got a shotgun. So with the scattergun, there would be no benefit to giving him both barrels for a single person, correct?
You can still do double damage.
Oh, right, the double damage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So I'll after finishing like holstering the axe with whatever strap I imagine it came with.
Yep.
I'll step forward and like kind of flip the break action closed and say, "Are we gonna do this?"
Bet your ass. All right. So
bastard.
Any last words?
No, but feel bad that yours are any last words.
All right. Make your heart save. So roll under your heart save.
13.
13. What's your heart?
10.
10. Okay. All right. So Severin, hand still fast, like still a gunslinger, or still a killer, draws faster than you and shoots. You take 6 strength damage, and need to make a critical damage save after that.
Ooh, that puts me at 0.
So that's death.
Dun dun dun.
So strength reduced to 0. Just the shot hits you right in the chest, pierces your heart. Just stagger back.
Oswald, you're the errant now.
And I just, at that, I mean, I couldn't even control myself. I have questions out of game about the apple and the crystal.
Okay.
But death is death, right? He hit 0 on strength and he's just done.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then I just scream, "You son of a bitch!" And I'll start firing.
Yeah. I'll say that because Severin was so involved in the duel, he's so invested in that, it leaves him exposed. So you'll automatically hit, and so just you won't have to roll on the shoot table. So just roll your damage advantage.
No, those were 6s. An 8. I got an 8 and a 7.
8. Awesome. All right. So the in your righteous fury, you unload your 6 shooters into him. One catches him in the shoulder, the other catches him in the neck, and he coughs, sputters blood, and son of a bitch, and he collapses, hits the ground dead.
I holster my weapons and just run over to the body of Alexander. I'm gonna cradle his head, do the whole thing, see if he's still got anything left in him.
The bird, like the raven, looks down and kind of caws as it looks down on Alexander's corpse. You see the corpse disappear. Alexander, you wake up at the last bonfire you sat down at, but you're now tied to this world and not the drifted world. You're
damn, there's a boulder there.
you're in the loop and out of the drifted world. So you live, but you're no longer a gunslinger.
All right. So strip that title.
And through the open door, you can see that the plaque, the bronze plaque, or the brass plaque on the door says the Drifted World, and that leads back to where you came from.
Yeah, so if this character were to continue onwards, like, would his background now be like former gunslinger or something like that?
Well,
or is like he retired for all intents and purposes?
Yeah,
okay.
Essentially is dead, but reborn in this world as something else.
So gotcha.
Yeah, so it's now become a rune Karen character instead of a gunslinger.
Fantastic. When Warden Saga comes in, I've already got a character ready.
Awesome.
Alexander Mitchell with a southern accent.
Wicked. Because there's nothing in Warden Saga that says you needed to be like, or nothing in Rune Cairn that said you needed to be a Viking in order to. Yeah. All right, so this is you've tracked down and slew Severin, and come to the end of this adventure. So congratulations. Lost one, but were ultimately successful.
Yeah, I'll take heroic death any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the very last thing I want to do is go over and kick his stupid black hat off and crush it.
Nice.
Step on it. Yeah.
You can
just cause
you can throw it off the platform and watch it like just scattered to the winds.
And that's the close scene is just the black cat fluttering down.
Yeah.
With the blood on the brim.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's
super fun.
Yeah, thanks.
But great game. Rest in peace, Alexander.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Have a good one. Nice meeting you too, Tom.
Nice meeting you, Ryan.
Good to meet you guys. Thanks.